Hello everyone and welcome back to Hermitcraft Season 11, Episode 11. Before we get into this episode, I need to give you all a little bit of context. Around a week or two ago, I was out gathering resources and came across Etho's base on the way back. And within his base, a giant snowman resided. This snowman has been passed around bases pretty much since Christmas, but I couldn't help but notice that the ground underneath this one was set alight. Obviously, naturally, I'm gonna put that out, and I left a little sign at the end and went about my day thinking nothing else of it. Well, about that, it appears I have a new resident on my base. Literally. It's on top. Oh my gosh! Hi! It's been passed on to me now. I was harmlessly putting out the fire. I guess I'm stopping Etho's melting of the snowman, and I guess I am now facing the consequences of that. You're a bit early for Christmas, mate. It's still March. Okay, well, I don't know what I'm really going to be doing with this guy. What happens now? Do I go, like, shove him over to someone else's base? Does he stay here for a little bit? He's actually bigger than I feel like all of my buildings combined. Oh my gosh, is there anything inside him? Hello? Pixies? Nope. Okay, well, at least it's been lit up. That means it's not going to be a mob farm. Not sure what I'm going to do with that, but that's a new establishment. Okay. Does anyone know what this snowman is called? Because I genuinely have no idea. Anywho, that snowman is going to exist here for a little bit, and I am actually going to properly get into things. In the last episode, I did a lot of work on the terrain, as well as getting yeeted about 100,000 blocks away from my base. And today, I was feeling a little bit inspired. At the very beginning of my season, my starter base was within my 2 fire trucks that are now just kind of sitting up there, just chilling. And I was thinking, we need some more vehicles in the area. And why not make myself a little bit of a fireboat in the river? When it comes to the Nautilus racing, I feel like racing at the surface of the water is pretty risk-free, and maybe this can serve as a bit of a new obstacle, all the while just adding a bit of nice character context into my base area. And it seems the Minecraft Knight has asked me to snooze, but while we do so, we can grab some blocks. I think one of my favorite details about my base is the fact that pretty much all of the beds that players are going to use are in my fire trucks. They're all in the vehicles. I even made supposedly a sleeping quarters in the actual fire station, but I have yet to decorate that, and there's no beds in it. But if you see a vehicle, odds are it's got a bed in it. Bloop. Okay, so I definitely need red. Grab a little bit of mangrove. Feel like quartz has to be on the menu as well. Maybe some texture pieces like concrete, including some yellow concrete, because we need that as our Aussie contrast. I wonder if sandstone has a place. Probably not, but I'll take it anyway. Tinted glass, maybe some white stained glass. Maybe bamboo, considering the planks are yellow. These boats are pretty industrial, so I'm also thinking maybe some smooth stone might work really well for us too. Maybe if we add to that, why is there tough in this chest? That's supposed to be over here, but we can also use a little bit of tough, considering how grey some parts of them are usually. And then to top it all off, I'm actually going to grab a whole bunch of dirt, because I'm going to use this to define the shape first before we, get too hung up on all the details. The next question is, where exactly do I put it? Because once I put it in, it gets a lot more painful to move if I don't like the area. I am honestly thinking of roughly around about here. And then hopefully we have some nice good room to be able to put some glass trails out the back as if the boat is wading through the water. That's going to look so cool. Okay, we'll try there and see what we think. So the boat design that I'm looking at right now as a bit of a reference point is specifically an Australian fireboat. And the ones that I'm seeing and liking the design more of are very much more on the flatter side, at least on the bottom of the boat. They're very shallow. They're not very tall. This length is looking pretty good, but I feel like we're going to have to move this back because otherwise it's headed straight for disaster. We shuffle it back maybe about 3 blocks. That's probably going to be good enough. Yeah, maybe even more actually. Okay, that's better. A little bit more avoidable. Nice. All right, now we need the shape of the boat on the bottom. The back of the boats are very flat and square, and the front appear to have a pretty steep point, so we're not going to make that too shallow. You know what, looking at some of these boats, some of them do actually have a pretty kind of straight cut front as well, but it has this sharp incline going upwards, I guess, so they can kind of barge through maybe debris in the water and things like that, and they will be much less obstructed. So maybe we can try that and see how it goes. Now, it does cave into the point just a little bit, so we can push this side out one more block to meet up with the back. This is the most uninspiring boat shape I think I've ever made. Okay, moving on underneath, we're going to add a few extra blocks here because obviously the boat is not just going to sit on top of the water all flat like that. Ooh, oh dear me. Bubbles. And then on top, we're going to build this up a little bit. And this is where I remove all of it and start completely again because it's not working. Right, so I went into creative on a copy of the Hermitcraft world because my brain just wanted all the blocks at my fingertips for the small details. I did the same blocking intention that I originally did on the actual survival Hermitcraft server with the dirt, filled it in with some color, and then that's where I started to add some of the actual shaping and the details with stairs and slabs and trapdoors and all that kind of good stuff. And honestly, still kind of struggled with it a little bit. Because this is where I'm at right now. And I feel like it's still kind of lacking. Like maybe it's not exactly perfect. I mean, I think it fits. Kind of, if we don't think about the actual physical limitations of this and the fact that it's too tall to go underneath that terrain bridge there. But, you know, it's there. It's cute. Like, if you look at it from far away as well, it's the right shape. It fits as part of my vehicle fleet. I don't know. It's just, I tried working with it. Boats are really hard, especially when you're trying to make them at a really small scale. So I've given it my best shot here as someone who doesn't build them very often. And yeah, it's not perfect, but that's okay. And I kind of like the process that it took. I spent about an hour trying to design little bits and bobs for it. We got the little hose like sprayer that they push the water out on front of the boat. On the side, we have little banners with letters that are in shells, which I love the new purpose for shells for that reason as well. We got our usual grid-like banner pattern there. A lot of the red contrasty bit is at the front that is supposed to create that like sloped shape to a point that a lot of the boats seem to have. We got the kind of oddly shaped front with the white sections where it had almost like little wedges on the front that it seems like it's going to cut through the water with. And that was quite interesting to try to do the detail for. We got antennas at the top for signal, for contacting anybody if there's any problems. And honestly, one of my favorite bits is the glass out the back that's showing where the boat has come from, which is trailing off from the boat motors or the rotors or whatever that boat language is, as if they've turned on the boat and they're going whee right down the river. I think it's cute, you know? It definitely works. And I've always said to myself that perfection doesn't exist, so I'm not going to strive to be perfect, and maybe in the next boat it'll be better. But I definitely think I've learned something today, and that's what's important. But right, now we got to get it on the server. Let's go build this thing. Alright, the boat is officially on the actual Hermitcraft server, and as much as I'm not 100% completely happy with it. I still think it looks fabulous. For those racing in the Nautilus race, they will find if they usually stick to the surface, that they're probably going to have to be forced beneath now because, well, this boat takes up pretty much a lot of the width of what they had. They could sneak through here if they want to, but honestly, it is going to force them underneath the water, which is a big intention as to why I've made it the way I have. And underneath, because I didn't show it very much before as well, you have got at least a good significant part of the boat that is underwater. You can't really see it from above, but it is there. There's a good block and a half block or so, however much this is, underneath the actual water itself, which is quite typical for boats of this type. And I've just realized something that I'm missing here. It is a vehicle after all, and just like I said at the beginning of the episode, my vehicle's got to have the bed in it. So, bloop. There we go. It is now a respawn point. Nice. Look at that little tiny boat. Look at little toot toot. I like it. You know what? With the aerials, I know they're a little bit too tall for the space, but just pretend they fold them down when they need to get into the really squishy areas, you know? It's fine. Perfectly logical. Well, now that I've made the boat and I'm already working in this area, I'm gonna make a bit of another change. In the comments of the last episode, quite a few of you enjoyed the brown glass addition to my terraforming, but I also had some really good feedback in there where maybe it seemed a little bit harsh when right up against the blue. And within that feedback, you offered a really good suggestion that I could mix in some other glass types just to create a little bit nicer of a transition between the brown and the blue. And after a little bit of testing with different glass types, I've landed on gray stained glass. I think this might work as a pretty good transition block to help soften up the edges just a little bit. Look at that! You can already tell the difference. Oh, I did one too many there. You can already tell the difference between them. It's subtle, but I think that's going to make an impact. So I'm going to change just a few, well, not just a few, but some of the edges of this brown glass here and see if we can really catch that full effect that we're going for that you guys suggested. Because at the end of the day, you're right, it is pretty harsh and there is an aesthetic choice to it being harsh, which is also completely fine. I think both of them will look absolutely fantastic, but we're going to give this a good go. My aesthetic logic here is that I'm going to make the grey glass a little bit thicker on the brown parts that seep into the river just a little bit more. And where it dips in, we're going to go a bit thinner. So over here, where we might have 2 or even 3 blocks thick, I'm going to transition that to either 1 block or maybe even not at all. And that should have a really nice seeping effect to it. Okay, I'm free camming it up just a little bit here, just to show you the effect. What do we think to that? You've got the straight brown on the left, and on the right-hand side, I've added in the grey glass. We can see the difference. It definitely makes an impact. It's subtle, but I think it works. But what do you all think? Because that's what's important. You've all suggested this, and I really appreciate the suggestion. So thank you very much. Unfortunately, the 10 blocks of grey glass that I currently have in my hand are all I actually have to my name. So I'm going to have to go farm some of that. But I'm actually thinking of potentially making this a little bit more of a stream project and finishing that up there. And kind of stopping at this spot in the episode for today. But I think we really see the potential and I'm quite excited to see the end result. At this point, I'm going to pivot the episode just a little bit because, well, I've heard there's a bit of a certain minigame that is technically open in the shopping district. I have been told by quite a few people and a few hermits have played it by now, so I want to give it a go myself. And, well, that is Doc's Shulker shop minigame. I don't know if it does. I'm assuming it has a shop in it because it's in the shopping district. But this apparently is a game for us to play. And you know me and minigames. I need to play it. It's important. Current world record 15. Okay, well, there's a lectern. Let's give this a bit of a read. Hello. Current high score. Doc 13 Corrales is leading the way. Ren, Jev, Cub, False, XP, and Skiers. Okay. What do we got? Welcome to Whack-a-Shulker. To play the game, bubble up the ice spike. Toss 1 diamond into the shaft behind you to play once you're up there. Start shooting after the countdown. Payouts, 4 shulker shells per shulker whacked. Ooh, bonus payout for new high score. Players, do not fly through the playing field as this could trigger shulker reloading. Ooh, okay. Okay, so to me, this just seems like I gotta get my bow out and start shooting some shulkers. Alrighty, bow's here. Oh, okay, yep, we gotta have a special bow for it. Property of Whack-a-Shulker. Nice little definition text there. Definition? Description text? Oh my gosh. And I've already got an arrow, so we're good to go. Can't forget myself a diamond. There we go. And let's hop up and try this out. Yep. Hello. Okay, toss a diamond behind and then just start shooting. Alright, let's chuck that in there. Is that correct? Okay. And I wait.
Get ready.
Oh, there's a duck. Okay,
2,
let's go.
1. Whack-a-Shulker.
Oh my gosh. All right. Oh dear. Oh wait. Oh gosh, because they even still pop their heads off. And it's not just the fact that they pop up in the first place. They've also got to open up so you can actually hit them. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ooh, but they're all one hit. I've gotten 1 so far. Look at me go. I'm doing such a good job. 1. Oh, 2. I got another couple there. Nice. Is it going to give me... Okay, it only gave me enough for 1 there, but I definitely got 2. This is very cool. Look at them all TPing away and everything. Bloop. Hey, wait, we're technically... Wait. This is technically Doc Shulker Farm. We are just... We're doing the work for him. He doesn't have to worry about restocking it. What a smart way of doing the shulker shop. Okay. Oh, that one's just dying over there. Whoop.
Game over.
Game over. Okay.
Thanks for playing.
Well, I got 24 shells. Is that my score? Okay, now how do I get out of here? Do I go down that way? That's where I tossed the diamond. I don't think I should go down that way. How do I get out? Okay, I'm gonna toss myself down the diamond hole now and hope this is correct. Okay, good, it was. All right. It's 4 per shulker whacked. And I'm going to assume that the high score is based on how many shulkers you've hit, not how many shells you've gotten. So I'm guessing I got a score of 6 here? I feel like I should have gotten 7, because I'm pretty sure I didn't get shells for at least one of those shulker shells hit. But hey, that's fun. I like it. We gotta play that again. I feel like I'm doing better already, though. Oop, that didn't... Okay, that just bounced off your face. Come on, peek your little face up. Haha, I knew you would. Okay, that one's far away.
Game over.
Game
Thanks
over.
For playing.
Oh, I got 28. I'm at 7 now. And again.
Game over.
Okay.
Thanks for
I locked
playing.
in. I got 44. Okay, that was better. But that was still only 11. Corrales has 15. We gotta do better than that. Well, I'm getting a lot of shulkers out of it, so that's great. Fun and reward at the same time. Great concept for a shop. I love it. I'm gonna have to keep playing this, but we'll give it a break for now, shall we? And don't worry, I'm returning the bow. Bloop. And putting my name in the book. 411. Bloop. Hey, while we're here, let me give you a bit of an update on the NRL because it has been going absolutely amazing. Check out my score and the amount of wins that I have. Somehow, I have 3 wins out of the 4 races under my belt. This is going insane. As you can see on the sign behind me, we've done 4 races and the 5th race is coming up incredibly soon. Now, I do actually want to state that I will not be racing or participating in the 5th race. And other than the fact that these races are at very unfortunate times for an Australian, I'm also concerned about how many points that I've been stealing, and I would like other people to get more points to really shake it up as to who might be in the final championship race, just in case I were to do somehow well again in the 5th one. So with that, I'm going to cheer them on, and I've already got a guaranteed spot into the championship race, so I'll have that in the video when we do that. I also want to introduce you to my Nautilus that I have been racing this entire time, and you know what? You might notice there's quite a lot more zombie Nautilus in this pool than there were before. A bit of a fun fact, zombie Nautilus are just a little smidge faster than a regular Nautilus, but I will not be using one of those, and I'm sticking to mine. Now I gotta find it. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay, straight away. Perfect. So this is my little Nautilus doing all the hard work. This is Fire Truck. So I make sure oh my gosh, I keep on with the Fire Lady theme, even as we're racing in the crazy waters that are the NRL. This is so much fun. Ready? Yee! I love it. Ah, they're so much fun. Back over at my base to get away from the potential minigame grinds there. A quick update on my villages. I have started to work on the interior just a little bit. We have this new little named location to Smithy Lane with the residents of Mason and Timothy in this room right here. It is looking much more crazy. Obviously, still needs actual decoration, but I think I'm working out a design point to do with the tiny amount of space that I do have. Here are my two lovely villages. You mind showing your faces? Oh, there we go. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate that, Mason. This is Mason. This is Timothy. Mason and Timothy sell the things right above the shelves on their head there. Very handy for me at a glance. This one, of course, as you can see, got myself some quartz, some dripstone, a little bit of terracotta. Absolutely beautiful. And then hopefully in the villages right next to them, I'm going to turn them into farmers so we can make a pretty good trade point here. So this is looking great. Are you two happy here? I hope so. I think they are. Look at them. Best friendship. It's blooming. I've also just realized I forgot a little detail on the boat, which is honestly, it's not huge, but it's small and it makes an impact. I didn't put my little alternating blocks along the side. What an absolute nugget. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Bloop, 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 bloop. Okay, that's better. Right, I can't believe I forgot to do that. Anywho, this is where I'm going to be leaving the episode today. I know this is a little bit of a shorter one, especially in comparison to some of my later releases, but I decided to take a little bit more of a laid-back approach. And to be honest, I've been recording in Australian times when not a lot of people are on, which means less interactions, unfortunately. But alas, I hope you've all enjoyed it regardless. We'll have to figure out what to do with the snowman in the next episode because I think it roughly is going to stay there for about a week or two and then we'll move it on to the next hermit. And if you have any suggestions or feedback in the comments, please let me know and I'll catch you all in the next one. I'll see you later. Bye everyone! Bye! Boop.